Ashok's new book, Culling Culturitis. And I'm going to take credit for this book in a slight way, because about a year or so ago, Ashok was one of our guest speakers, and he was giving us a talk to our member companies about culture and branding. Ashok neatly illustrates that positive workplace culture and selfless leadership form the glue which aligns and binds people together. This in turn drives and sustains recruitment, morale, people development, retention of talent, and permits the full execution of strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Ashok on this meaningful and useful book, and in inviting him to make his presentation. Ashok.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for spending this Tuesday morning with us, with me and Anna, on this significant day. Here we are at level 69, on top of the world, looking around this gorgeous view. It took you about 30 seconds to get here. I took a slightly longer time to get here, roughly 20 years. It's been an interesting journey, and I want to share a little bit about that, just to provide some context for this morning for you. Through all this experience, working with SMEs and startups, one thing simmered to the surface, and that was company culture. Because no matter what you did, from a branding or a marketing or customer experience point of view, if you hadn't had that mindset in place, nothing was going to resonate, nothing was going to work long term. Culture was always very much part of what I did, but I was focusing on other aspects that the market needed. So I decided to pull back, and I wrote my first blog, 2 years to the date. And it was called, Is Your Company Suffering from Culturitis? And that's the first time I coined the word culturitis and gave toxic company culture a name. I gave the talk, and Victor's already told you about that. It was one of my first talks on culture. If you need to commit to something in life, make it public. Believe me, it works. And I was like, after that talk, damn, there's like 50 people in that room who I said I'm going to write a book. I have to do this. I have to do this. So I got down to writing it, and like most people who attempt writing their book, procrastinated for a few months. Nothing happened. If it was not for Anna, who helped me on this journey, I don't think anything would have come about. And I dedicated the book to her, and I said, if it was not for her tenacity and her passion and her patience with me, I would still be on page 15. So thank you, darling, for making that happen. She was my book architect.
Very exciting moderator, Mr. Michael Was, who is the VP for Learning and Development at Accor Hotels APAC. And I'm going to leave this panel in his very good hands for a very engaging discussion.
All right, one more big round of applause to the woman behind the man. My first question is to anyone in the audience, really. What does an average engaged employee look like?
If an employee is engaged, they're more likely to be really into what they're doing, and therefore likely to stay. And every business, I think, shares the view that keeping your staff is sort of one of the number one things that you've got to be able to do.
But we can see the physical difference between someone who's truly engaged and someone who's not.
I think for me it's an emotional state of mind. It's about being passionate, committed, and invested in your company in some form.
You walk into a LinkedIn office, what's fascinating about the culture and the values is that and that's by default actually, they don't have it up on the wall anywhere. Yet, the employees that you talk to, or the person that you meet at the reception, are people who are living and breathing and walking the talk on the culture and the values.
Great.
So that's the vibe that I'm talking about.
We know how some companies can do the whole free food and bean bags routine, right? Is this real? Is this real engagement?
They'd start by asking the team members exactly what engages them, what excites them, what do they really want. and you'd be surprised at some of the answers and not what you think it is. In our particular environment, what they're looking for is career pathways. They want discussions about how can they learn more, how can they be greater challenged in their job roles, how can they connect more with our customers.